Hey guys, Dark Skeleton here, and today we have a crazy day in Hearthstone news, starting with some upcoming balance changes. They've also dumped essentially the rest of the Goblins vs Gnomes cards, but I'll get to that in future videos. So the upcoming balance changes, which are likely to come out at the same time as Goblins vs Gnomes, are as follows. Firstly, Soulfire now costs 1 mana up from 0. Soulfire, along with fast and powerful minions, allowed Warlock Rush decks to get ahead on the board and stay ahead. We've upped the mana cost by 1 to slow down the Warlock Rush deck just a bit, and allow more players time to react and interact against the Warlock. On one hand, while I'm kinda sad about this change, not allowing my Soulfires to be quite as effective, I think that this change is entirely justified. In any Warlock deck, Soulfires have been insanely good, if not the best card in the deck. With Soulfire, a Warlock can turn almost any situation around in a single turn. Discarding a card does suck, although it sucks less for Warlocks because they can always draw for more. But making this cost 1 mana instead of 0 isn't that huge of a nerf. It will slightly reduce the amount of cards you can play on a turn you decide to Soulfire, but all in all, it's still an amazing card. Next up we have the Gadget Sand Auctioneer, which now costs 6 mana up from 5. Gadget Sand Auctioneer's ability allows for a player to potentially draw many cards for little cost. Card draw and card advantage are important to the game. Overall, games are less interesting when a player draws their entire deck. This change brings Gadget Sand Auctioneer's cost more in line with its power level. Now this change I'm a little bit more skeptical about, because there was really only one deck that Gadget Sand Auctioneer really worked well in at the professional level, and that's Miracle Rogue. A 6 mana Gadget Sand Auctioneer is a huge deal to that deck. It was already bad enough if you don't draw into Gadget Sand Auctioneer for a turn 5 play, along with Preparation and Conceal. So a 6 mana Gadget Sand Auctioneer means at the latest you can play it on turn 6. But then it's very likely you won't actually want to play it until turn 7 or 8, so that you can better protect it with a Conceal or some other similar card. Now they might be trying to balance the old cards around the new cards that are coming out. For instance, Spare Parts may have been incredibly powerful with Gadget Sand Auctioneer, allowing you to draw into a new spell for only 1 mana. But you know, at 6 mana I kinda wonder if people are still gonna try to run Miracle Rogue. The Leroy Jenkins nerf didn't destroy Miracle Rogue, and some decks even choose to still run Leroy Jenkins. While increasing the mana cost of the card is a direct nerf to Miracle Rogue, it might be the case that although it is harder to play the card, it's not unusable. I'm sure many people will be trying to find new ways to make a Miracle deck work. It'll just be very different than it was before. Possibly having to play something like more early game minions so that you can actually get up to the point where you can use a Gadget Sand Auctioneer effectively. If the deck does do one thing to Rogue, it's definitely to encourage rogues to try to play other kinds of cards. And some of the non-Miracle Rogue cards that are coming out seem very solid, so we might see a return to something like a Value Rogue or an Aggressive Rogue, or even maybe a Stealth-based Rogue. That would be interesting. Finally, for the balance changes today, we have Flare that now costs 2 mana up from 1. Flare allowed the Hunter to have an advantage versus decks that revolve around secrets, while also allowing the Hunter to draw a card for little cost. We want to encourage a variety of decks in Hearthstone. With this change, Flare will continue to be useful against decks playing secrets, but will be weaker against other decks. Now for Flare, I completely agree with this decision. Flare was a Hunter card I ran in every single Hunter deck no matter what. Even if you don't destroy a secret, even if you don't reveal stealth, it was still so good for cycling through cards. And as Blizzard is saying right there, it's still very good against secret decks. But now it will be a real choice whether you decide to run Flare or you don't. Indirectly, this does make secrets a little bit better because there will be less Hunters running Flare. So all in all, these changes are very significant, but not entirely unjustified. They will definitely change the way the game is played. At the very least, it'll be interesting to see how players decide to adapt to all of these changes. And I can't wait to see what the Goblins vs Gnomes meta is going to actually be. So I've been Dark Skeleton. Next up I'm going to cover the 36 new cards that just got dumped onto the Hearthstone community. If you do enjoy my videos, please consider donating to my Patreon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.